2023 is a big year for gaming, but especially for Microsoft. After a relatively dry period without too many big titles, it finally delivered some high-profile exclusives, some more surprising than others. Of course, the Xbox Series X and S also served as a stellar platform for gaming thanks to Game Pass, not to mention the sheer number of third-party titles that had a chance to shine. All this combines for perhaps the best year for the platform yet. Here are the best Xbox games of 2023, from the endearing and mindlessly fun to the peaks of artistic accomplishment. 21. Diablo IV. Diablo IV combines dark aesthetic and fluid gameplay. With a large open world and new mechanics, there were some features that received some criticism, but things have improved. As it stands, it's still one of the easier action RPGs to get into, while still offering dozens of hours of fun. 20. Like a Dragon Ishin. RGG Studios' remake of Like a Dragon Ishin marks the title's long-awaited debut in the West. Mixing a tale of revenge during the Bakumatsu with the series' trademark side stories and wacky minigames, Ishin also offered some solid combat with its mix of swordplay, firearms, and power-ups. Some aspects could use some significant improvements, but this is still Like a Dragon. 19. Lords of the Fallen. It's a good year when not one, but two solid Souls-like titles are released. Hexworks' Lords of the Fallen evolves on the genre's formula by introducing dual worlds, Axiom and Umbral, and the Umbral Lamp to traverse between them in creative ways. The Souls-like style of gameplay remains, backed by incredible visuals and a great spread of classes, weapons, and spells. While it may not overcome some of the games listed here, Lords of the Fallen is still a worthy enough tribute. Tied for 18 and 17, RoboCop Rogue City. After delivering the goods with Terminator Resistance, Teon turned its attention to another beloved action movie property in RoboCop. Though it offers some investigative mechanics and decision-making, Rogue City is just a straight-up shooter where you slay gang members in extremely violent ways. And that's all that counts, though capturing the game in all its retro-futuristic glory helped as well. Tied for 18 and 17, Descent. For every climbing game that makes you question your sanity, Don't Nod's Descent is a decidedly chill experience. Its responsive controls and meditative approach contrast with the mysterious summit and post-apocalyptic world ravaged by an environmental disaster. Gorgeous aesthetics and a wordless narrative with extensive lore made for an even more compelling journey upward. 16. Dead Island 2. Dambuster Studios' Dead Island 2 must feature skill decks, elemental damage, and multiple mods for weapons. But at the end of the day, it asks some simple questions. Would you prefer your zombies dismembered or scorched, exploded or electrocuted? Finding the answers to these questions resulted in some incredible fun, with oodles of content to complete and secrets to uncover. 15. Everspace II. Embodying a more freelancer-like gameplay loop over the original's roguelite approach, Everspace II features a massive campaign, extensive side content, the same fast-paced action as the original, and some stunning visuals. Space combat is as fast and fluid as ever, with more build crafting options and companions offering more ways to customize one's playstyle. It's a dark horse compared to many other titles this year, but it's still worth your time. 14. Wild Hearts. Sometimes it's not enough to hunt. Sometimes you want to climb on a monster's back and rip out karakuri threads to make a giant bomb or hammer to smack it in the face. Koei Tecmo's Wild Hearts offered large environments, imaginative kimono to battle, and some wild weapons to master, complete with the typical hunting RPG armor sets and upgrades. It wouldn't beat Monster Hunter, but it offers a strong alternative for those wanting something different. 13. Forza Motorsport. Despite mixed reactions to its car leveling, not to mention various bugs, Forza Motorsport is a solid racer. Its streamlined approach returns to the series' roots of learning each track in and out while tuning your cars to perfection. New tyre physics, track temperature that affects conditions, and realistic visuals place it above earlier titles, while the revamped multiplayer allows for more frequent competitions. 12. Lies of P. Belle Epoque-era aesthetics and architecture meet a gruesome take on Pinocchio in Lies of P. Fortunately, NeoWiz's Souls-like action RPG offered some solid gameplay with its gorgeous visuals on top of memorable bosses and a deep weapon system. Considering the sheer range of Souls clones that just don't hit the mark, Lies of P is a revelation for fans and a strong title in its own right. 11. Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty. A memorable setting, a brand new district in Dogtown with gorgeous details, and heaps of new weapons, cars, and cyberware to play with, Phantom Liberty is the perfect capstone to the journey of Cyberpunk 2077. It also didn't hurt that the setting was interesting, while presenting some morally ambiguous choices with long-lasting effects. 10. RE4 Remake. There have been a ton of survival horror games released in the past few years, but the genre's resurgence started with PT. Silent Hills got cancelled, but the release of RE7 brought the survival horror genre to the forefront again. This was followed by the excellent RE2 remake and the somewhat disappointing RE3 remake. The RE4 remake features decent combat mechanics, weather, and atmospheric effects, and makes good use of the RE engine. 9. Street Fighter VI. The developer had its work cut out with Street Fighter VI, but still knocked it out of the park. The gameplay is back in all of its glory, and the game didn't shy away from delivering a more socially competitive experience. Each character is tuned to perfection, with the drive system adding extensive depth and incredibly hype moments. Overall, Street Fighter VI delivered and is a blast with its beat-em-up gameplay. 8. Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Star Wars Jedi Survivor offers great visuals than many of its counterparts, but that was not all. It offered a dark story, interesting things to do, it had everything that fans of the genre could want, and more. Performance issues mired its impact out of the gate, but Cal Kestis' struggle against the Empire still carried exceptional emotional weight. Tied for 7 and 6, Hogwarts Legacy. With all the adaptations Harry Potter has seen through the years, it's fun to fulfill one's dream of being a student in Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. Of course, Hogwarts Legacy goes bigger, opening up the neighbouring Highlands for exploration with tons of things to do. The stellar combat and visuals are just the icing on the cake for what's an enjoyable fantasy adventure. Tied for 7 and 6, HiFi Rush. HiFi is more than just a drop-dead gorgeous, character-driven action title with excellently implemented rhythm game mechanics. It was a clear message from Xbox at the start of the year that it could drop straight-up bangers out of the blue and give players what they want. Whether it's the rocking soundtrack, stellar boss fights, or the new Rhythm Tower mode, HiFi Rush is a fast, fluid, and fantastic title. 5. Dead Space. Motive Studios' Dead Space adapts the 2008 sci-fi horror for a new generation. It sticks with the same third-person gameplay, but layers on more elements, like the peeling system, revamped zero-G mechanics, and random threats. Exploration is seamless, and the scary atmosphere is enhanced thanks to the remade visuals. While it may have been relegated in the face of so many other big games, Dead Space is still an excellent title and a welcome resurgence for the franchise. 4. Armored Core 6 – Fires of Rubicon. From Software had its share of expectations after delivering one of the best games of all time last year with Elden Ring. However, Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon chose to focus on the series' strengths, extensive customization of mechs, while providing fast-paced action and challenging boss fights. The results speak for themselves, as Armored Core 6 stands as the series' peak and one of the best action titles this year. 3. Boulders Gate 3. While it initially raised some eyebrows with its first gameplay reveal, Boulders Gate 3 is everything that fans of Dungeons & Dragons could want and more. Excellent gameplay mechanics and characters, tons of quests with numerous outcomes, fun turn-based combat with broken combinations. Even if it may seem daunting, Boulders Gate 3 is one of the finest RPGs ever made. 2. Starfield. With over 1,500 planets, minus the ice and gas giants that you can't land on, Starfield is a video game space odyssey of unimaginable scale. While its procedural generation tends to repeat in some areas, it still offers memorable sights and sounds, from exotic alien wildlife to stunning skyboxes and landscapes. Coupled with solid gunplay, fun space combat, and a myriad of activities, from smuggling to space piracy, Starfield is certainly something, even if it isn't for everyone. 1. Alan Wake 2. It's somewhat poetic that Alan Wake 2 should launch over 13 years after the original, after numerous efforts by Remedy Entertainment, and capture our hearts. Featuring two protagonists with wildly different viewpoints and gameplay, the sequel's strength lies in its presentation and setting, employing live-action footage and surreal occurrences without skipping a beat. Its visuals and music are excellent, but Alan Wake 2's unabashed presentation as art that should be savoured and studied for a long time is perhaps its most endearing trait, making it our pick for Best Xbox Game of 2023. And with that, we've reached the end of this video. Have anything to say? Let us know in the comments below. Also, we upload new videos every single day on GamingBolt, so please consider subscribing, as it really helps us out. Thanks for watching.